Oh, is there another part? Is there more?
Yep. I'm Bryan.
Yep.
That's Bryan. That's Jeremy.
And
this is the topic of the week. Boom.
Turkey and shit.
Yep. This is your first time watching the Midnight Gamescast. Make sure you subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/withoutparolgames. Go to our Facebook page and ask us questions and send us nudes at facebook.com/withoutparolgames. If you like what you see, throw us a few bucks on Patreon. Patreon.com/withoutparolgames. It's real easy to remember.
Yeah.
Yep. Of course, everybody likes free content, so if you don't feel like supporting us, that's totally cool. Just keep watching us, subscribe to us, like our videos, and tell your friends about us, because that is way cooler than money would ever be. Mm-hmm. We love our subscribers.
Yes, and thank you and welcome to the new ones.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. If this is your first time watching us, then, well, this guy, he's not usually here. This is Bryan. He's filling in for Michelle this week. If you want to know who Michelle is, well, watch next week or watch last week.
No, you can spend a few minutes filling. Do you want to tell us a little about yourself?
Please do, Bryan, because we're going to talk about Thanksgiving.
Yes.
But before we talk about Thanksgiving, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Well, what would you like to know?
I hear
nothing.
No.
They're not talking to me.
They don't
digital
care.
silence.
I can't. They don't want to know anything. Obviously, my name is Bryan. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I know Bryan. Mm-hmm. Recently meeting Jeremy, though.
Very recently.
2
days ago on Tuesday at midnight.
The weekly wrap-up.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, that was good times.
Yes.
We talked about Chinese.
We haven't
food.
left yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still want that Chinese food.
Oh,
Chinese food's the best Thanksgiving meal. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Thanksgiving is coming up. It's actually going up the same day as this episode. It's topic of the week. So I guess topically it makes sense.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I'm kind of dreading it.
Yeah.
I don't like Thanksgiving.
It's never that fun. Yeah.
Holidays in general.
Places you don't want to go and
Not so
shit.
much.
See, holidays in general, yes, right? I mean, I love Halloween. Is that a holiday?
Oh,
Yeah.
Can we talk about Halloween instead?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halloween's fun.
But like Thanksgiving, it's like, I mean, my family's fine.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
I don't think most of them watch this, so whatever. But so here's the thing. As a normally practicing vegan, I definitely have my big spans of time where I just eat whatever the crap I want.
They don't cook tofurkey for you?
No. There's usually some like vegetarian things going on and stuff. But the fact is like the way that I eat is so specific.
Yeah.
That like I don't eat any meat or dairy or anything. It's typical vegan stuff, but I also don't consume oil or nuts. It's real strange. Like I've really eliminated so much stuff from my diet. No refined, no processed sugars, any of that stuff. Right? Mm-hmm. Refined sugars, no processed food of any kind. Anyway, so the deal is that you show up for Thanksgiving and people go, "Oh, Bryan, this is here's food that we made specifically for you."
Right.
And it's like, "Hey, it's Brussels sprouts," and it's like covered with like oil and like butter.
Spray butter. It's spray butter. It's good. It's not the same.
Right. I'm like, are these bacon bits?
Yeah.
No,
they're bacon flavored bits.
Right.
All processed
It's like,
shit.
it's soy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, good. Well, nitrates. That's totally on the diet. So the fact is like, so I get there and I'm like, don't worry. I'm just gonna eat everything. It's fine. I'm like, I don't need to be vegan today on Thanksgiving. That's gonna be no fun for anybody.
Yeah.
But the problem is, more so than that, is that I don't enjoy eating around other people. I don't enjoy going out to eat. I don't enjoy dining out. I don't enjoy eating with groups. Eating for me is like kind of a personal thing. I do it to survive, like so I don't die.
Like an animal,
right? I don't do it as a thing,
Yeah.
And so then it feels real weird because everyone's gathered together to eat. And it's this thing, and I hate it. And we'll just stare at each other like, throwing like dead animal into our mouths and like.
I don't mind going out to dinner and eating, but I know what you're saying about Thanksgiving eating.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and everyone's just like, look at how much he's eating.
Yeah, my plates are always so much smaller at like Thanksgiving. It's like,
right?
Yeah.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's like,
Nom, nom, nom.
you want more? No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'll take the leftovers home, sit and like watch a show, and like I've got this giant bowl, and like I'm just
it's always better later,
but, But around the group, no, I don't.
Yeah. You don't want to fill up and have him be like, oh my god, he's getting cheesecake and carrot cake and cannoli. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're my family,
Yeah.
and if you're the Italian side of my family, it's like you like if you don't eat enough, that means you don't love them. Right? Eating and love go hand in hand in the Italian world. Yeah. I'm
sorry.
It's all good. Yeah. And so there's different questions I want to ask regarding Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Do you have Thanksgiving traditions?
You know, it's funny you say that. Tradition. So I remember when I was younger. I don't remember, like 9 or 10. I remember one of our teachers, was like, oh, we're going to fucking put together, we're going to make a recipe book about traditions. You're going to talk about a tradition and then a recipe. And it's going to be a recipe book, and we're going to, bind it and, like, sell it. To your parents for like a couple of dollars. It was like a fundraisery thing. So it was like high pressure. And of course I'm like, are you kidding me? Fucking tradition? I don't bake with my mother at that time. I mean, like, I do like to bake now.
Oh, yeah.
But back then I'm like, I don't fucking bake. What am I going to do? So I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to make up something. So I'm like, what do I like? I'm like, I like apple squares. My mother had made apple squares a couple of times. And you know what apple squares are, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she made them a few times, when I was a kid. And so I'm like, I'm just going to say that. So I got the recipe from my mother, and I made up this story about, going to the orchard, picking up the apples, wrote it down. It's in the book. It's in the book. You can read about it.
It's a tradition.
Yeah.
You just made it up.
And yeah, we went, and I included my grandmother in it.
That was nice of you.
Yeah, it was. And that we did this, and we peeled the apples, and we baked them, and I made apple squares, and it was all bullshit. But anyways, whenever I think of Thanksgiving, I think of apple squares, even though they never were included in Thanksgiving. I just threw them in there for their tradition. And then I also remember the damn book. So yes, no, there's not really
It's an actual
You
tradition.
created a tradition.
You created the tradition.
In your head, it's sort of still a tradition to think about it.
To think about it. So yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's typical traditions like eating dinner. Yeah, I don't really, now that I'm older, go to my grandparents, and not as much as my parents to eat dinner afterwards. It's more with the girlfriend and parents and shit like that, But yeah.
Yeah. We go to my brother's house now, and he invites the families and everything, but he also like invites his friends and their families.
Yeah.
Which is real weird because that means just over the last year or two or a couple of years, I see the same people. I don't know any of their names.
Yeah.
And I've talked to them for hours at length now.
Yeah.
And they talk about their lives and their kids, and I'm like, have we met?
Yeah.
And because I have this problem where I don't really recognize people if they're not in my life like on a regular basis.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's like, I remember growing up, I remember being a little kid, and I had this aunt, Pauline, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't know. Sorry. She used to give me a quarter or a dollar.
She's not watching.
I think she's dead. But again, I have no idea.
She's watching from heaven
and
or hell.
And she used to give me a quarter or a dollar or something like that every single time I saw her if I could remember her name. And it was a high-pressure situation.
That is high pressure.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and I didn't care about the quarter or the dollar or whatever the currency might have been. I cared about like embarrassing myself and embarrassing her and being like, sorry lady, you're part of my family and I don't remember you for the life of me because I see you once like every year maybe.
Yeah, I've seen you 4 times in 4 years.
Yeah. And I'm like, and honestly it just kind of speaks to my character as a person, and this has not changed my entire life. I just don't fucking care about you if you're not in my life on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
Right? And if any family is watching, I love you. I don't care what you're doing. Right?
Yeah.
So there's these people that are recreating this situation for me yearly.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to remember whose parents or whose kids and like who's related to who. No, I just bullshit my way through the 2-hour experience because I'm one of the last people to get there and I'm the first fucking one out the door. Okay? I've done my duty. I'm out. Right?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, I'm sorry, it's a bullshit holiday.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Well,
yo, you're up, buddy.
Yeah. I've never had any particular traditions, so to speak. We used to try to implement them, and then like it would last for like 2 years, 3 years, then it would change.
Yeah.
Completely different. I mean, even where we go seems to change every couple of years. Like it used to be my dad's parents' house, and then we started doing our own Then there was my aunt and uncle's. Like, it swaps back and forth. And I spent probably 10 years working every Thanksgiving. So even that was...
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you work on Thanksgiving?
I used to work for Bickford's.
Oh, okay.
So they were open daytime.
Yeah.
They do, like,
Thanksgiving
breakfast, lunch. Yeah. And that was a thing.
Yeah.
For, like, 12 years.
That doesn't sound like the worst thing ever, to be honest.
No, it wasn't the worst thing ever. I was younger.
I honestly very often like to say, "Oh, sorry, I have to work," because it sounds better than whatever it is I might have to do.
Yeah.
So it was okay. I mean, but nothing consistent.
Now, I think my parents for a long, long time did Thanksgiving, and I used to go over there early in the morning.
Yeah.
You know. Help them prepare, help them get all set up, and it was like the most stressful thing ever. My parents were like, you know, and they're like, okay, like, oh no, the relatives are showing up. Give Mom a Cosmopolitan. She needs to have a little buzz before she deals with. Right, it's like Bryan the bartender steps right up, takes care of what needs to be taken care of. Stressful as all hell to host Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know if it's worse. Good, like worse to host it or worse to have to go somewhere.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I'm gonna say it's worse to host. Worse to host.
Yeah.
Because then you have to, all right, not only do you have to cook and prepare and buy and do all this shit, stressing about if people think it's good or not, what they're thinking as they're eating it, then fucking cleaning up after you dish them food to let them take it home.
So much cleaning.
Oh, screw that. I'd rather go eat, get a dish, go home.
Yeah.
But I'd rather sit home and do nothing. Because how often you just get a day that you can do nothing?
I haven't had that since I started this channel.
Exactly. So to have a day where you don't have to even go up to go to somebody's house and eat, and you can just stay in your pajamas all day long and watch a few Tom Cruise flicks or something, why not? You know?
Tom Cruise flicks, huh?
Yeah.
The second you said pajamas, I was thinking Saved by the Bell for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I would want to do.
Zack Attack.
Yeah.
You know, well, those are later. The Zack Attack band.
Remember? Yeah, the band.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was a band?
Oh, yeah, he had that later on.
Yeah, so suddenly all of his friends knew how to play instruments.
I know.
It was real weird.
And sing. They all know who, like, sing well together.
Really
well, not
well.
really well, but, like, 90s well. Early 90s well. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I can't imagine.
Lisa Turtle.
Lisa Turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine having to host Thanksgiving or any holiday. Like, I feel very fortunate that I have a nice small little place. Like, 5 people fit in here comfortably for an hour.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
The episode Jesse got hooked on pills was great.
It's sort of the quintessential episode of Saved by the Bell.
That was great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was the she was when she had the breakdown? What song was
she was in her
sang?
bedroom. I don't remember. Oh,
yeah. No, she was saying, "I'm so excited. I'm so scared."
Yeah.
And she starts crying,
Oh,
and
so
she's
great.
like, "Oh, she's a total mess."
Oh.
What was she hooked on? It was caffeine pills.
Caffeine pills.
It wasn't even
dude,
like painkillers.
Yeah, I mean,
or
really.
anything.
I know. And you're like, oh, these pills.
Well, that was a big
so
thing back when that
excited.
show was out, too.
Yeah.
Hooked on caffeine
Caffeine pills. I know. Wow. Chop them up and snort them.
Oh.
Caffeine pills were great when I was in college.
I never even took one.
Oh, it was just better than coffee because you down them with coffee.
Streamlining caffeine.
Yeah.
Remember
Mainlining
caffeinated
caffeine.
water?
Mainlining.
Drank 2-0.
I remember Crank 2.0.
Crank 2.0. I never drank it, but I remember the name.
Yeah,
You could use it
caffeinated
to
water.
brew coffee.
Oh, geez, that sounds scary.
No.
Have you done this?
There was a cafe in Worcester for a while
This
that
is
actually
way better
served
than
something
Thanksgiving.
that had coffee brewed with Crank 2.0
Jeez.
and caffeinated ice cream with chocolate-covered espresso beans in it. It was like this,
My heart's racing.
Yeah.
like this culotta almost style drink.
Yeah.
Don't know if you remember the Java Hut.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Jabba Hut.
Yeah.
They called it a
It's still
psychoblast.
They're in Northbridge now.
Wait, they
Northborough.
moved?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Really?
they just.
Oh, no. I was thinking Lala Java.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm pretty sure it's gone.
Yeah, Java Hut's gone.
yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
The bicycle place took it over.
Remind me where was that Java Hut?
Webster Square. It was right
Near
next
the back of Hope Cemetery.
across from Webster House. The Webster House.
Oh,
in
yeah, that's why I remember.
There's
It's right
Bicycle Alley.
near the band rooms, yeah. I had
Yeah.
a band room on the Bay State for 15 years.
Yeah, I used to play at Java Hut. I used to play
Yeah.
like open mics.
Now
and
it's
stuff.
the old tool house, used tools. They sell them there. It was a Subway for a while as well.
Yep, Subway.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Subway's always been connected to it.
Is it not?
Oh,
any-
really?
Is it not anymore?
No, it's Subway's gone.
It's just
Subway's
a
gone
bicycle.
too?
It's just a bicycle place now, right? If you're not from Worcester, this is riveting conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. But Java Hut was awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But
How
yeah,
about that?
Favorite. Okay. So we talked about Chinese food during the weekly wrap up. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food? Do you have to bring anything to Thanksgiving?
Usually no, but I try to. I like it. Oh, I go hog wild making apple pie.
Yeah.
I love baking and cooking.
You make a good apple pie?
So yes, and what I try to do also is make those big ass like mound over kind, but I do lattice work. I do fucking crisscross lattice work. I've even cut out little like fucking
nice.
apple, try cutting like little apple dough shapes and putting them on there. Really, I do that.
Do you make your own dough?
No, I don't. I buy the
Pillsbury.
powder and I mix it with shit,
Okay.
but it's already pre-packaged, just powder.
Powder.
Yes.
So you don't buy like the pre-made Pillsbury?
No.
Oh, because those are phenomenal.
You just buy a mix.
I buy a mix and I mix it, and then I roll it and I cut it. And I don't have one of those cutters that
Well,
puts
it's more from scratch.
It's more from scratch than I'd ever do.
I don't even have the thing that crinkle cuts it when you go. Vroom. I cut it. I take a fork and I go like this on
is
each
intense.
side, and then I lightly spread
That's
it so they
dedication.
open up.
It's more than dedication.
Brush it with the egg,
I'm
it's
buying
sugar.
I'm buying you a crinkle cutter for Christmas.
Right?
Because it sounds like I could save you hours a year.
Oh my God, you
I mean,
could.
I
Hours
generally
a
try to
year.
make something, but
Yeah.
it varies year by year.
Well, I mean, you know how to cook. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not saying you don't know how to cook. I
No.
think both of you compared to me are probably amazing
No,
cooks.
I'm very unprofessional, and it's shit. Well, the apple pie comes out pretty good.
I bet it does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I want an apple pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's too much work. It's way too much work.
So do you ever make anything?
Yeah. I mean, lately, yearly. What I tend to do is I make this roast vegetable in apple cider with a little bit of brown sugar and some cranberries in there. It comes out really good, like turnip, parsnip, sweet potato,
Do you make like a giant batch of it?
like giant roast, like
Yeah.
Really.
like 8x11 roasting, like not roasting pan, but
Big pan.
Big
that
pan.
Roasts these vegetables.
yeah, like big casserole type style.
Nice.
Yeah.
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 I'm in charge of making the only thing I know how to make: green bean casserole.
Green bean casserole.
Because as we all know, green bean casserole, 3 ingredients: green beans,
Yeah.
cream and mushroom soup,
Yeah.
and French's
Yeah.
fried onions.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that there's a right way and a wrong way to make this.
There is.
You have to get the deepest casserole, like aluminum pan that you can get, right? And I usually make 2 of them at once. And you have to just you have to layer thick layers, right? You have to start with the green beans on the bottom. Or no, is that right? Maybe the soup on the bottom, green beans, and then a layer of French's onions, and then you have to do it all over again. And you have to make sure that you leave the top just soup and green beans until 10 minutes before it's done cooking,
Okay.
and then put a layer of French's onions there. Then they get nice and brown and crispy, and they don't burn. Right?
Makes perfect sense to me.
Yes.
Somehow those 3 ingredients create one of my favorite Thanksgiving dishes of all time.
Nice.
Second only to cranberry sauce that comes in the shape of a
Yeah.
can.
And it sounds
Jellied,
like,
jellied cranberry sauce
As it comes
is a
out.
beautiful thing.
It is. It
Yeah.
makes a sound.
yeah. And it's like,
My grandmother used to make her own cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving,
yeah.
and I hated it.
It's more tart. Way more tart.
I don't like actual cranberries
want
in my
pieces
cranberry
of-
sauce.
yeah, no.
Get stuck in your teeth.
Nope.
Yeah.
I want the jelly.
You know what's I love too is I love broccoli broccoli the casserole casserole. Fucking love it. My mother makes it really good.
There's chicken in that?
No,
Broccoli, cheese. What else?
some breadcrumbs. It's pretty basic.
I don't know if I've had this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's wicked good.
I didn't even have green bean casserole until I lived in Tennessee like 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Somebody brought me to like their family gathering, and they're like, "Here, have some of this." I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And they're like, "You've never had
yeah.
green bean casserole?" I had like 3 plates. I was like, "This is the greatest thing ever."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do love a homemade applesauce.
Oh yeah.
I will give you that.
Yeah, totally.
Like traditional applesauce, no, thank you. That's like out of the
Oh.
jar or whatever.
Yeah.
I eat it out of the jar, but yeah, if you want to make me
Right.
homemade applesauce, that's
Yeah.
Homemade applesauce. Oh,
Yeah, you're right. It's
beautiful
I forgot about that being a thing.
It's like the difference between bread and fresh baked bread.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Scalloped, homemade, real scalloped potatoes. Do you like those?
Yeah,
I love those.
definitely. I like the smell of all these while they're being made more than actually consuming them.
I know, because you want to eat little portions, because you're not young anymore. You know how it is.
I think the show's becoming sadistic though, because you know, a couple days ago we were talking about Chinese food, and making ourselves really hungry, and now it's Thanksgiving, and once again I'm really hungry.
Right? Fuck. And I can't eat again till like 8 a.m.
My favorite part of Thanksgiving is the food coma.
Oh, yeah.
When you finally hit that perfect point of eating the food, and then it's just the contentment that settles in. You can just you can only do it if you're at home though.
I know,
if
that's
you're,
the
if you're
problem.
hosting, not if you're
Yeah.
traveling out. So
Well, if you're at a good house for Thanksgiving, then usually, I mean, I don't like sports, but there's a game, right? A football game that happens on Thanksgiving. Is that right?
I guess.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's the game.
The game.
The
Yeah.
game's on.
The game's on.
We are
I've
obviously
heard that on Thanksgiving.
But yeah, usually a big group of the diners, the people that are at the house for Thanksgiving, kind of kind of migrate over to like a couch area, right? The
Yeah.
TV's usually on, they're watching the game, and everyone just kind of like lays there and they're drinking their beer or their wine or their whatever, and they enjoy the food coma together, watching the game.
Yeah, it's just creepy.
Hey, but you know what? It's nice because people start to settle down a bit. They're all tired.
And then everyone's got to
Right.
clean up
Yeah.
while everyone's relaxing.
Exactly. It's usually the women too, which is always super sexist.
Wicked.
Because the women aren't watching the game.
And I can't sit there. I
game.
wasn't brought up right to just sit there while other people
Yeah.
clean up my mess.
I have a
You
big
know what
problem
mean?
with that too.
Oh, so I
Yeah.
got to help. You
Yep.
know? Everyone's like, go sit down. I'm like, I don't feel right just sitting down, you know?
It's
Ugh.
ridiculous.
I feel like you just eat enough when you're there so you don't get in that old fat unbuckling bullshit.
That's why you get the leftovers and you use that for
Exactly.
your food coma later.
That's exactly what you do. Then you mash it all together and
In a
make a
sandwich.
sandwich. Yeah.
With a big fucking chunk of that cranberry
Yes,
sauce from the can.
absolutely.
We just found a shared
Even
tradition.
Gravy. There's gravy on there. There's mashed potatoes.
I'm writing a book and I'm selling it to mom and dad.
There you go.
Aftermath food
But there's a
coma.
real one. Yeah.
Tell us your Thanksgiving traditions or your favorite foods from Thanksgiving, or fucking, hey, just tell us what kind of Chinese food you like, because that's
Yeah.
a thing.
Totally.
Down below in the comments. Again, thanks for watching. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
And
Thanksgiving.
welcome new subs again.
Yeah, we
Yes.
really appreciate you watching this shit show of a show.
Chaos. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I enjoy watching
It was fun. It was
Absolutely.
nice
You
to
know?
nice
Yes.
to stop in. Thanks for
And
having me
thank
on the
you.
show.
Yeah,
Thank you for
it's
coming
great.
by.
Thank you for filling in. It was
Yes.
sort of a last minute thing. We really appreciate it.
Big time.
Jeremy and I, there was an episode, I think it was like around 14, where we were the only ones that showed up.
Yep.
And we talked for about an hour. It was
Yeah.
before the show was really structured too.
Yeah.
So there was no like weekly wrap up. There was no video game true or false. There was no really
Just an
anything.
hour of talking. Yeah.
We talked about road trips and
Right.
roller coasters.
Roller coasters. Yeah.
And as much as I enjoyed that episode, I don't know if we could have done it again.
Yeah.
We only have so much to talk
Yeah.
about.
It's very different structure now too.
Although I'm finding the more we do this, the more shit we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Oh, yeah.
strange. Again, thank you for watching.
Thank
Comment below. We love you all. Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm not gonna say ciao.
Why not?
Say wishbone. Snap
What?
the wishbone.
With the pilgrims and the Indians, shouldn't you go instead of chow? Go.
How?
That was horrible.
Yes.
Aloha.
No one watches this far.
That's getting edited out.
Yeah, it's a bonus footage. Nothing gets edited out.
Bing. Thank you. And we'll end it right there.